It's a sad day for this judge.
Hey, Judge Mathis, how are you today, man?
I'm not good. Rather, it's the worst days of my life. I'm not holding up very well.
This is going to sound really bad, but at this point, I'm just tempted to tell the judge to just join the club. What marriages are lasting these days in Hollywood? In the ones that are they even healthy? Like, look at Will and Jada.
Don't look at them. They're a terrible example.
I'm just saying that's what quote unquote healthy in Hollywood looks like.
Says who? Nah.
Says Hollywood. Everyone else is breaking up.
I mean, Hollywood is not where you should look for relationship advice. I'll give you that. I agree. But I disagree that he shouldn't fight for his wife. If he wants to be with his wife, fight for your wife, Judge. I'm all for it. I'm for it.
No, listen, I'm not saying that he shouldn't fight for his wife. I'm just
saying join the club.
I'm just saying he joined the club.
He has not joined the club. He said that they're still living together. They're still amicable. He's fighting for her to not go through with the divorce.
Would you say you two are in a good place right now, or able to maintain a friendship? Or
Oh yeah, we're still in the same house and we're maintaining a friendship. And I'm trying to get my wife back.
All I'm saying is that he's in that divorce club right now.
They're not divorced yet.
She's in the papers.
They're not signed. They're not finalized. Listen, Judge, keep fighting for your wife. I'm all for it. He seems like he recognizes he wasn't the most present guy. And I get it. He was grinding on his business, on his hustle. So, respect. He's on his grind. He's on his hustle. So I get that sometimes you can lose sight of what's important. He said that his wife ranked third. He meant fourth because he named three things. He said his job, community service, shooting the show, hanging out with friends, and fourth was his wife. So, at least he recognizes where he went wrong.
My wife has been third, serving the community, taping my show, having fun with friends. That's what happens, guys. Never be too busy or never have too much fun beyond your wife.
Okay, guys, it just seems like it's unfortunate, but it seems like success comes at a price. It seems like the people who are really good at their craft end up being not so good at their home life. Like if you just look at Tom Brady and his relationship, it kind of seems like it's treading similar patterns where I think they ultimately got divorced because he wanted to continue on with his career and she did not want him to do it. And now it kind of seems like Judge Mathis is heading down the similar path. I do feel bad for him, even though I did tell him to join the club, because it does seem like he actually cares. I don't think that he wants to go back on the dating market. I don't blame him for going back on the dating market because it is trash. But one thing he said, though, brings up something I remember Skip Bayless said. Skip Bayless did an interview in which in the interview he stated that before he got married to his wife, he always told his wife that his passion for sports would always be his first love and it would always come first. And he's managed to make it work. So part of me is thinking, okay, maybe the judge wasn't clear about how he wanted his, marriage to work within the entertainment business. I think if maybe he had clear standards with her to begin with, he probably might not have reached this result. Because from what it looks like, it seems like Skip Bayless has had favorable outcome. But obviously, none of us know because, we haven't heard anything about Skip Bayless's wife. But I'm just going to assume when you don't hear anything, it's probably going well. My assumption, though.
I don't know enough about. Listen, so Skip Bayless got with his wife later on. I think they were already a little bit older, which is one part of it. I think Mathis has been with his wife for a long, long time. Two, I agree with your point about when you're very successful in your craft and you're like the top of your game, like Tom Brady, for example. It comes at a cost. But Mathis makes it seem like he put his wife down on level 5. Like, there's level 1, which is what you do for a living. There's level 2, which I guess was the community service for him, which he should probably flip that. Level 1 is the job. Level 2 should be his wife, in his case, because he's like Skip, where he's putting his career first, at least for a while. And if she's down for that ride, cool. But then to have community service and hanging out with your friends above, hanging out with your wife, at least to the level he does it. But also to your point, I wonder how much she willfully signed up for this. Like, Skip was already on his path in his career, said, hey, if you want to join me, you're number 2. She said, I'm with it. For Mathis, it seems like
that's a good. You're saying that they came up together, and then after that, then he decided to go public, and then their relationship just kind of morphed to that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is interesting, which I don't know. I personally don't know, but I think that's actually a good assumption because, let's be honest. Judge does seem like he's a little bit older guy, and it seems like at that time, it's more likely that he kind of went that route opposed to, I don't know, I guess.
Yeah, and they showed a picture of them from way back. You saw that?
No, I didn't see it.
The very beginning of the clip we watched or the video.
Did he have an afro?
I don't know if he had an afro or not. I just know it was like one of those old photos.
I was about to say, that's a telltale sign. If he had an afro, I mean, they've been together for a minute.
He may have had an afro. I don't know.
When's the last time you saw someone wear an afro? In mass, like a lot of people.
No,
Not just the weird guys in the game room.
No, not just the guy that likes the thick time.
I like white girls more better.
Okay.
Especially the thick time.
I'm talking about like it's been. I think the photo was from back in like the 70s, probably.
Yeah. So okay, they've been together for a minute.
Gotta be the late 70s. Yeah. Well, they've been together. They've been down for a while.
Yeah.
I will say this too, but he's smart to use that opportunity that TMZ gave him to profess his love and make a public show of affection to his wife that he wants her back. I mean, that's a good game plan for him. He's like, I want you. He didn't go out there and start tap dancing, except for one part he did tap dance, which we'll get to. At least I thought he did. But yeah, so I think that's a good show of affection. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. It's been a long time. She may not fall for it, but I will say that he was tap dancing when the guy asked him directly, was infidelity involved? He could have just simply said, very direct, no.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah.
No infidelity, never happened. He was like, well, that's not the reason for this situation.
Also, kind of some rumors of any infidelity. Did you want to clear that up at all? You say it's solely neglect, but there was none of that going on.
That's not the purpose. That's not the reason for this.
And he said, one could assume, she'd be right to assume that there was infidelity. So I was always gone.
Well, I mean, to me, okay. So number one, you're probably right.
Yeah, he probably did.
But here's the thing, though. If he says that's not the reason for this situation,
sure.
If there was a case where he stepped out of his marriage,
yeah.
Then she probably was cool with it. If he said that's not the reason for the situation.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she forgave him and let it go.
I'm saying it could. I'm just saying it could have been like an NBA player situation where he's allowed to do whatever he wants, just don't bring it home.
I mean, we're speculating at this point, and you could be right. You could be very right. I'm not saying that's not an option or not a possibility. It's probably more likely that she's like, oh, I don't like you doing that, and she let him get away with it a couple times.
So that's basically like the NBA player situation.
No, because sometimes they'll like have a discussion, like, I'm about to do some things, and they're like, well, as long as you don't bring me anything back or get them pregnant, fine. Whereas with this, I get the sense it's more like he was out with his boys on the road, or just out on the road in general. Different things. Maybe she turned a blind eye to it and pretended like she didn't know.
I mean, that's
a different situation.
I mean,
that's not being cool with it.
It's the same thing. It's just a less cordial way of going about it. It's like, I know what he's doing, but like, don't ask, don't tell.
That's a willful. That's first of all, we're still assuming that's willful. Whatever, just willfully ignoring it. Or again, he might have gotten caught and she was like, "Listen, don't do this again. If you do it again, we're done." Something like, we don't know what happened. But the point is, I believe him when he says that that wasn't the reason for this, for her wanting the divorce. I do believe that it's mostly because he's not there or wasn't there. Well, you think that's the real reason?
I mean, the way that he described it in detail, I mean, it probably was.
Yeah. Because
I feel like if it wasn't, then like, why'd he? I don't know. I believe the judge. I mean, he pretty much admitted it and said that like he was doing everything else but being with his wife. So
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. Ultimately, I hope that they do stay together because, like I said, the dating field is trash, and I think at that age, I don't think anyone wants to date. And I don't know how old the judge is.
He's got to be in the 60s. But when you say if he gets divorced now, he's not going back on the dating market, bro. He's quits.
Yeah, I mean, we know that, bro. But
yeah.
Who's dating at?
I gotta know now. What do you think he is?
68.
64. I actually thought he'd be older than that. I was with you, maybe like closer to 68.
Yeah, I said 68.
64. Okay. All right. I mean, he's not a young spry chicken. Put it that way. He's no spring chicken.
I mean, listen, I'm glad he's still living. How about that?
Wow, that's a very low bar. 64 is not that old. I mean, for what you're talking about nowadays.
I mean, listen, there's someone that was it? Fat Man Scoop died at 53.
Fat Man Scoop's not dead.
He is dead.
Fat Man Scoop isn't dead.
He is dead.
You sure about this?
Yes.
Didn't he just do an interview with somebody? He died recently?
Bro, he died on like Friday.
Oh, this past Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's why. But anyways, we're going way off topic. Rest in peace to Fat Man Scoop. I hope that Judge Mathis does stay with his wife and they work it out. I'll say that.
All right, guys. So ultimately, I'm gonna say that Judge Mathis made a good decision. For being honest, it sucks to see him hurt because it looks like he definitely is hurting. But yeah, I hope it works out. I think it will personally work out, but who knows? What are you gonna say? Good decision, bad decision?
What?
The TMZ interview.
Good decision. I said that. Yeah, I think it was a great. I think that he used the opportunity very well. He used it as a way to profess that he wants his wife still, and she's gonna see that. So good decision.
All right, guys. So if you think Mathis made a good decision, leave a like, leave a comment. If you think Mathis is a cheater, leave a like, leave a comment. All right, decision makers, we're out. Don't cheat. Stay married.